Hey, my pretties, what's up? It's the Queen of Lions here, and today we are up with another movie review on Shadows and Pretties episode 178. Now, I actually forgot that almost forgot, that I've seen this movie. Well, I haven't watched it in like a while. I know I didn't do a Disney Pixar movie in a really long time because I was going through my Shadows and Pretties playlist because I found this movie that we're going to be talking about today, and today we're going to be doing is called Inside Out. This movie came out in 2015, so yeah, like it's turning. Let me see. I gotta recalculate because it was like 5 years old in 2020. It was 6 years old in 2021, so it's turning like 7 years old this year. So, I mean, I honestly was pretty surprised that I haven't did a Shadows and Pretties episode on a Disney Pixar movie in like quite a long time. If you get, I mean, the last time I kind of did a Disney Pixar film, like a film review, I'm trying to look back at it as, I'm doing this. But I could definitely say, I mean, I was looking through to see, what Disney Pixar movie have I not done yet? Because, I was sitting there, looking through, thinking, oh, which one I have not done yet? Because I was considering covering another one of these. So I was looking online just to make sure, or just to see, if there was any movie I have not done yet in Pixar, or the anyone that I have not done in a while, because that was a topic I've been, kind of wanting to, well, cover again, which is this one, a Disney Pixar movie. I was going to do Coco, the one that came out in 2017, but I decided, you know what, let's do this movie because I looked and realized I had not done a Disney Pixar movie since Up. I mean, that was like at episode 101 of Shadows and Pretties. So, yeah, we are doing a Disney Pixar movie because, well, I haven't done a Disney Pixar movie in a really long time, so here I am with the review today. So, I guess we should go ahead and, get started on this. So, like I said, I'm going to sit here and say right now, I am going to be spoiling everything about this movie, so it's not recommended that you see this movie, well, not this movie, but see this video if you do not want any spoilers. Like I normally would warn people, especially this movie that came out in, around the late 2010s and 2010s, etc. But yeah. So, yeah, let's get on with this. So, apparently, the conceived idea for Inside Out was around late 2009 after noticing changes in, Pete, Doctor's daughter's personality as she grew older. And it was pretty much green lit based on Doctor and Del Carmen's embraces. So they adapted the idea of involving emotions for the film. During the production, the filmmakers consulted psychologists and neurologists in order to achieve greater accuracy in their portrayal of the mind. So the development on Inside Out lasted for about 5.5 years, with approximately around almost a 200 million budget. So the film faced the production difficulties, so including, storyboard changes and etc. Eventually, this movie was premiered in Cannes, in the Cannes Film Festival of May 18th of 2015, but then it was released worldwide in June 2015 on the 19th. So, 2015, yeah. So, basically this is involving a young girl by the name of Riley Henderson. Are the basic emotions that control her actions, such as joy, which means happiness and, you're feeling joy of yourself. Sadness, meaning, you have, you cry and have, sad in your heart. Fear, which basically controls, what you're scared of. Disgust, meaning you're not liking something or you see something pretty disgusting. And anger, which basically is known as wrath and rage. Her experiences have become memories stored in color orbs, which are sent to long term memory each night. The aspects of most of the five important are the core memories, within her personality to incorporate the form of living on the life floating islands. So Joy pretty much acts as their leader, and the rest of the emotions try to limit sadness's influence. So, fast forward years later, at the age of 11, Riley moves from Minnesota to San Francisco for her father's new job, and she has first poor experiences, like new house is cramped and old, her father has hardly has any time for her, a local pizza parlor only serves pizzas topped with broccoli, which Riley dislikes, and moving van that belongings ends up in Texas and will not arrive for weeks. So Riley's first day at her new school, sadness is retroactively turns joyless memories sad, which causes Riley to cry in front of her class and creates a sad core memory. So Joy tries to dispose of it by using a vacuum tube, but she accidentally knocks the other core memories and losing during a struggle with sadness, disabling the personality islands. Joy and sadness and the core memories are sucked out of the headquarters, so they try to get back to the headquarters. In Joy and Sadness's absence, anger, fear, and disgust are forced to try to take control of Riley as a disastrous result, distancing Riley from her parents, friends, and hobbies. All because of this, her personality islands have gradually crumbled and fallen into the memory dump, where all the memories do seem to be forgotten. Oh, sorry about that. I thought I might have scrolled down too far, and yeah. So, I mean, that's happened, but okay. So, Anger resolves to return to Minnesota, believing it will restore the happiness. So, while navigating the vast long-term memory area, Joy and Sadness encounter Bing Bong, who is Riley's childhood imaginary friend, who suggests riding the train of thought back to the headquarters. So, free in the extreme inconvenience caused by the island's dissolution, eventually they caught the train, but it halts as Riley falls asleep. It derails entirely with the collapse of another island, afraid that all the core memories will become sad. Joy abandons Sadness and tries to ride the recalled tube, track back to the headquarters, but the ground below collapses of the tube and breaking, sending Joy and Bing Bong plunging down to the memory dump. After discovering a sad memory that turned happy into Riley's parents to comfort her, Joy understands Sadness's purpose is to alert others when Riley's emotionally overwhelmed and needs help. Which, I mean, Joy probably, misunderstood Sadness. So Joy and Bing Bong try to use Bing Bong's old wagon rocket, which gets energy when the rider sings, to escape the memory dump. But they're unable to fly high enough due to their combined weight, so Bing Bong, allows Joy to escape, and he fades away in the memory dump. Joy reunites with Sadness and they return to the headquarters, but arrive too late as Anger's idea disabled the console, rendering Riley's as she aborts a bus to get to Minnesota. With the surprise of others, Joy hands the control of the console to Sadness, who is able to reactivate it, and this prompts Riley to return to her new home. As Sadness reinstalls the core memories, transforming them from happy to sad, Riley eventually tearfully confesses to her parents that she misses her old life and she breaks down crying. I mean, I can understand, the fact of moving into a new home and, you're not in a familiar area and that. I mean, I've personally been through it a few times when I moved, when I was a young kid, and about almost 3 years ago, I moved to a small town. I'm still there today, but I'm not going to be saying where I am for privacy reasons, but, you could definitely say it's in the forest area. However, her parents do comfort her, and they will admit that they miss Minnesota, so Joy and Sadness work the console together, creating a new core memory consisting of happiness and sadness, so all the islands form representing Riley's new acceptance of her new life in San Francisco. However, a year later, Riley's adapted to her new home, made new friends, and they return to her old hobbies while acquiring a few new ones. Inside the quarters, her emotions admired Riley's new personality islands, and they all work together on the newly expanded console with the room for them all, and that's how the movie ends. Now, this is actually a pretty good story, especially with the fact that Peter Doctor's daughter began having, some personality changes and that kind of the same way how Riley did. So the development of it started around late 2009 when they started, getting the idea. So the writing around started sometime, I guess, in 2010 when they discussed aspects of Inside Out, including some ideas. However, a screenwriter, Michael Andert, spent a year on it before leaving the project early of 2011, as he was attributed with the additional story material. So yeah, I mean, half the team wrote were women, and at the time the animation industry consists of largely men. Although Inside Out was mainly focused on a girl protagonist, research found that females aged from 11 to 17 were more attuned to expressions and emotions than younger girls. So Doctor decided that Ellie was not a main character, but her role was a setting. So since Riley had the same gender, her emotions were assigned between male and female. Del Carmen influenced at the film's story development based around this upbringing and preferred the idea of hockey's popularity in Minnesota and becoming like a core concept for the film. So yeah, there was like a lot of stuff and a lot of suggestions and stuff they actually did. So the production of the film concluded in May of 2015. At least the film took about at least 3 years to finish. When the voice recording began around 2013 and ended around 2014, Inside Out contains several veterans of the Saturday Night Live, and the film's team spent at least a week on that program research for a live television sequence. So, yeah, that's pretty interesting. Now, the animation of Inside Out took about at least a year and a half to complete, involving 350 artists, which 35 of them lighting lead, cinema photographer Kim White, and 10 layout technicians were involved with the production of the film. So the two other animation teams were also produced. One was separate for abstract sequence, and the other was credited for the character's process, or something like that. I mean, the aspect of how the Inside Out came to be and the fact they had the ideas of that in 2009 late around that year, that actually amazes me. Like, I was pretty amazed myself when I read that, because when I watched this movie in the theaters, I honestly really liked this. Like, the fact that this showing emotions on certain people. And I recommend for people who are autistic, who have Asperger's syndrome, autism, or anything like that, anyone with disabilities should watch this movie. Like, it's recommended, especially for those who have disabilities, such as myself. I mean, I've got MID, which is mild intellectual disability, which includes dyslexia, but I also do have a form of autism. So, yeah. With that being said, I mean, it's flat out amazing. I recommend you guys take a look at this movie if you haven't, and I recommend you watch this movie because yeah, you will really like this movie, and I guarantee you you will not be disappointed by this. So there is a possible sequel discussions, which I'm very surprised because sometime around, I guess, 2015 in June, discussions of a sequel began sometime as Doctor had no immediate plans for it and expressed interest on improving Pixar's originality. He and Pixar began exploring a possible sequel in 2016 in January, but according to Pixar president Jim Morris that July, the company's commitment on several original films prevented sequels to any of Pixar's other films, including Inside Out, from being commissioned at that time. But yeah, I mean, if there was a sequel to this, I mean, who's really to say? Maybe the sequel might become good, maybe it might not be good, but yet again, if the sequel for Inside Out ever were to exist, that would be, well, quite something, because quite literally, I honestly really fell in love with this movie, especially when I watched it. I mean, yeah, there were parts of the movie that was funny, there was parts of the movie that was, yeah, quite emotional at some parts, but yeah, it's just the fact that, when you've been watching a lot of Disney movies, whether it's Pixar or regular like I am or I have, you could really see, there's a lot of emotions that this movie especially has sat there and, took a toll on emotions, like pulling on the strings. Like, I mean, there were a couple of parts of the movie I kind of got emotional, especially with the, near the end where Riley returns home and expresses the fact that she misses Minnesota and that. I mean, I could relate to her. I miss my hometown too, that I was born and grew up in for last 21 years before I moved a few years ago. But yeah, I'm not going to say what hometown I lived at the time because yeah, it's probably, best not to say where I was at the time, like what city I'm not staying for privacy reasons. But let's just say that I recommend this movie. Oh, in the Japanese version of, well, Inside Out, the fact that Riley was served broccoli, but in the Japanese version, she was served green peppers that she did not like. So it was actually one of the noticeable changes I actually noticed. Like in Japan, they actually have has like a hatred for, well, green peppers, while in the other countries released they have, Riley doesn't like, broccoli. I mean, it's pretty interesting that, when I saw that, I honestly really can see, why they changed it, because I think from what I see personally is, yeah, green peppers are probably popular in Japan. I don't know if broccoli was, a part of that aspect or something, but maybe for those who see it or know more about that than I do, comment in the comments below. So, I recommend this movie, especially if you've not seen it. I recommend you check out this movie, as you will really like this movie. It's a pretty good Disney Pixar movie. I recommend it. If you like it, feel free to state your own opinions on this movie. Like, if you like it, that's cool. If you don't like it, that's perfectly understandable too, as, I'm respectful to your opinions as long as you're respectful to mine, which most of you guys should be, or most of you guys are, if I should rephrase that. Most of you guys are respectful, so yeah, I'm not too concerned. So, with that being said, what did you guys think of this movie? Did you enjoy it? Did you not? Also, what you have done personally to help make this movie a lot better? Feel free to leave me what your thoughts are down in the comments below. I'm the Queen of Lions. Thank you so much for watching today's episode. If you're new to this channel, feel free to like, comment, subscribe, ring the bell for notifications to when I upload, so that way you guys will not miss an upload. And as always, please roll the... There's no outro. Oh my god. Yeah, I do apologize for that. I gotta really stop having that habit of please roll the outro on Shadows and Pretties episodes, because, yeah, I don't have intros or outros for these, because, well, I don't think they're necessary. But yeah, the time I'm recording this is like almost, like, I was recording this, I believe, for 19, almost 20 minutes. And I think it's almost 1:30 where the day I'm recording this. By the time this is uploaded, it's going to be obviously in the daytime hours, so yeah, I think I'm going to have to head to bed. But yeah, I mean, whenever you guys see this video, when it's up, in the daytime, don't expect me to be in bed, at 11 a.m. or something like that. Well, I mean, I do sleep in sometimes, but you know what I mean. So anyways, hope you guys all enjoy this video. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. Like I said before, I know I'm repeating myself, but I just want to repeat that, and just in case for people who don't know, ring the bell for notification to when I upload, so that way you guys will not miss an upload. And as always, I'll catch you all in the next video. Peace out, and I'll see you all next time.